Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon for the month of March tarot oracle reading, and Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Pisces, we still all have a little bit of Pisces in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is it in? That's where this energy will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? It may give you further clarity to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. Here we go. We have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is, the wands represent the element of fire. And they are talking about having passion for life. This person is standing on the turret of his castle, and he's overlooking his domain. He has a globe in his hand, and this represents that he feels like he has the world in his hands, and that it's feeling a little bit like a big fish in a little pond energy. So he's thinking about, I wonder if I should expand my horizons at this time. He's overlooking his domain, and he's got his left hand on this wand. And so this is representing wanting to do something different. And there's a lot of energy right now supporting new energy. A lot of people are feeling this way. Sometimes I feel like this is the energy of an entrepreneur that is successful in their business, but they want to expand it. And maybe this is talking about franchising and starting another location, or another business in another location, or the same business in a different location, and even maybe taking it international, that kind of energy. So this is good. It's talking about being successful and being even more, wanting to be even more successful. So that's the underlying energy for this reading. And then we do have the Nine of Swords coming in for the energy of the internal forces. So this is representing someone who has maybe just woken up from a nightmare, and it's a reoccurring nightmare, or they feel maybe like their life is like a nightmare, and that every day is the same routine. And sometimes it just can represent stifling boredom, where every day seems exactly the same and there's no change ever. And things are just not exciting. There's nothing happening that to look forward to kind of energy. This also sometimes can represent the energy of between the wee hours of 2 and 4 in the morning. Most often people will receive like enlightenment in their dreams. Sometimes our ancestors have a tendency to cross the veil and do their best to get in touch with us through our dreams. And also sometimes Holy Spirit steps in and wants to give us some information to empower us to move out of this energy and get more into this energy. So this is talking that there's a quilt on the bed here, and it actually has cosmic symbols on it. And these cosmic symbols represent the fact that the universe has you covered. So the universe is a very organized place, and we are part of that perfect organization. Each and every one of us has our own special qualities to bring to the universe to make it a better place. We do have the Nine of Pentacles coming in. So the Nine of Pentacles represents pre-Empress energy. In the tarot, in the minor arcana, there's 4 queens, and this represents the Empress, who's in the major arcana. This is someone who's almost at the point where they have reached the knowledge and energy of an empress. This comes from having a lot of life experience, and sometimes a lot of it not quite that easy. So it's just about, this card represents the energy of the pentacles, and the pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional world. A big part of that is money, of course, but you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want to be living. So this card is talking about keeping our environment really organized and clean so that we have a decluttered mind, and also being really appreciative of what we already have so that we can move, that we can put that energy out to the universe. Hey, I want some more of this kind of energy. If you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, this card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, because he would say, if you knew the power of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And this person I feel like this is a ratio. And this is kind of like, there's 9 pentacles here. In tarot, there's only 10. So this is a generational wealth. This is a legacy you could pass down to your children and your children's children. This is basically talking how she's managed to accumulate this and how she's handling it. And so she's always got her hand on the percentage here of 6. She's got her hand on 6 pentacles here to look after her household, her businesses, in case there's a slush fund, in case there's an emergency or something like that. Just to handle all the expenses, make the payments, all of that energy. And she knows that's what she needs to have. And then these 3 here can represent an energy of maybe one of these she uses for more risky opportunities. So, investments that that pay out more, but they're a little bit more risky. And then she might give the other, have one designated for charity. And maybe the other one is for family members in case they get into trouble, or maybe going on vacation, that kind of energy. The falcon here represents having the foresight to be able to see the big picture, and also having your environment support you so that you can make strong choices. So this is talking about having, it's a real strong energy. So that you're in this energy, Pisces, because this is representing how you feel about yourself right now. And we have the 4 of Swords. So the swords in tarot do represent your mind, your discipline of your mind and your mental intelligence. These are our thoughts, and our thoughts are expressed through words. That could be the written word, or it could be verbalized. These swords, this person is wanting to have peace of mind. So they're laying down this one sword to rest, and they're going inside, and they want their mind to be quiet so that they can go inward and stop thinking, so that they can use their intuition instead. And going inward and consulting with themselves, basically, and then praying to God and connecting as best they can with source energy to get the answers that are relevant for them. There's 3 swords here because one of them is representing the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is your energy, or your thoughts that come from when you were very young, from about a baby to about 6 or 7 years of age. And if you notice, you don't really have a lot of memories for sure about a baby, but even under before kindergarten, a lot of us don't remember very much. So we have to rely on the thoughts of the people who were in charge of our care, and they'll tell us you were like this or that, or on photographs and video, etc. But it's not really our own thoughts, it's their thoughts and the environment that we were in. And babies are like sponges. They pick up, a lot of energy from the environment. This energy is very heavily imprinted on us. And so when we get triggered, this is the mind that we tend to go to first. Like, this is what we rely on. And it's not always that accurate as to our needs now, like when we're adults and, older. The unconscious mind, if you consider the unconscious mind as your soul's needs. So a lot of people will say, I'm a human being with a soul, but it's more accurate to say that you are a soul that's traveling in a human body. This is your vehicle to navigate through Earth. And as the unconscious mind represents the soul's needs. So from that perspective, that's the energy that this mind is in. And so if you ignore the needs of your soul and your spirituality, this mind gets louder and louder, and it'll start being coming up a lot in your thoughts. And then we have the energy of the conscious mind, and that's what you have, your own true experiences, your own memory, what you have gone through, what you've seen with your own eyes, what the experiences that you yourself have and you have memory of having. And so the three of the minds, if they're working together and they're congruent with each other, that's when you can really, and you plug them into your heart's needs, then the authentic desires of your heart, that's when you can really reach a truly fulfilling feeling within. And so this is, the stained glass window has the word Pax on it. And Pax means peace. So this is talking about this person going, it looks like a church here, to be quiet and go inward and have peace of mind and just feel for a while with their intuition. And we have this energy of the star. So the star this is the North Star. And these are the 7 stars here, the Pleiades. So the North Star is your guiding star. Basically, it's like the North Node in your horoscope chart. And so this energy is talking about keeping you on your divine path. And the energy here with she has her right foot in the water, and this is it's representing her own special qualities that only she has, and pouring that into the universal pool, and then taking that and pouring that out onto Earth, so that she's adding to the energy of the Earth and bringing her own special qualities onto the Earth. So this is, like your divine path, where your special qualities, what you want to give to society, to how you want to live your life, etc. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So the wands represent the element of fire, and this is talking about having passion. So this is a gift from the universe and from the Most High to give you passion for what you want to do and what you want to be, and having that feeling of, like really being excited or anticipating your journey on Earth. So it's a beautiful gift. And the aces are coming out quite a bit right now because there's a lot of astrological influences right now that are influencing us to want to move towards the new rather than sit in the old. And then we have the moon coming in. We do have a new moon coming up on the 18th. That new moon is in the sign of Pisces. So the Pisces energy is really more like, it's the last sign in the zodiac. It's like the senior executive. And this energy is representing the element of water. And so it's water in tarot represents emotions. So the water signs tend to be a lot more emotional, and they are usually very intuitive because of it, because they use the energy, their ability to feel, to actually note sensations in their body and how what those sensations are under certain circumstances. They really are one of the most they have the most intuition out of a lot of the signs generally. And this energy with Pisces is talking about, with this new moon coming up, it's on the 18th of March. And it's talking about, this is a really good time to commit to personal goals. The energy really supports it, like really making plans to how are you going to move forward and what's really important to you. Like this energy here, like going inward. And, you could be like everyone else on the planet, and we all are very similar, but we all have our own special qualities and what we would really love to do. And this is about really going inward to see what's in your heart. What are your authentic desires? And so this energy is also talking about being accepting of the imperfections in yourself and others. Like, we do live in a perfectly imperfect world. And so quite often the way we expect things to happen is not necessarily how they go. You may have noticed that, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, or it's not a negative thing. It's if we can anticipate what's going to happen, and give room with an open mind for it being different from how we expect it to come in, then we're really opening up to even more possibilities. And this energy in this moon upcoming, and we're in this energy now, having an open mind is very, very beneficial right now for a lot of people. Being able to see, different sides of different people, and looking at things from all perspectives, and considering that there's more than one way to look at things. And also, this energy can be really, really beneficial for your creativity, like imagination, and really getting, that maybe some really amazing energy coming in that would be really creative, where you, aha, I have this wonderful idea. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to do at this time. And then having the passion to put into it. And so the moon energy here is talking about this lobster is in the water here, representing the emotion, and he's decided that he's going to be vulnerable. He's going to take the risk and go down the path so he can stay on his path in life. And he has to go by this domestic dog and this wolf howling, and at the moon, and it's kind of dangerous, but he's like, I want to get through there, and he doesn't want to have to go around. He wants to stay within these two pillars. So this energy represents, maybe you've been isolating yourself and been really domestic and you need to get out a bit more. Or maybe you've been a wild child and you've been out and about, and it's time to settle down a little bit and, put some of that energy into a project or something that would benefit you moving forward. And this moon represents the sun, the full moon, and the new moon. So we just had two eclipses. One was on the 17th of February in the sign of Aquarius, and then we had another eclipse on March 3rd, and that was in the sign of Virgo. And this last full moon energy, there was at the same time there was a lunar eclipse, which meant that the sun was really shining a lot of light on what's going on, like on hidden aspects. That's what the moon represents, kind of the hidden energies that we can't see. And so maybe some secrets coming out, that kind of energy. And the Virgo moon was the energy that is really beneficial to get into, is getting your household in order. Like if you have a decluttered, and this is what this card is also talking about, you are basically the sum of your environment. So if you have a lot of clutter around you, it tends to clutter your mind. And if you have like a more cleaner space, and you don't have a lot of excess around you that is distracting you, you're more likely to be able to stay on project, basically. And so this is talking about making sure that your home environment is supporting you, and that that you feel good in your home, so that you can have that support your business or your work ethic, and vice versa. So that right now we do have a Mercury, which is about communication, is retrograde, which means from the view of the planet Earth that the planet appears to be going backwards. And this is infamous for causing problems in communication and problems in technology based a lot around communication. So this energy is really, it also brings back the past. And Mercury went into retrograde on the 26th of February, and it goes direct on the 20th of March. So this energy is, a lot of times past will come up, and that's also true of the eclipse energy, that the past energies will come up so that we can take another look at them and we can learn from them. Sometimes even people from our past, it's really common for people from our past to come back in to our lives, and it's like maybe some unfinished business, that kind of energy. So it's a really good time for putting plans into place and doing research, and really going inward and figuring out, what is it that I really want to do? What's going to make me feel really strong and happy within? And it's a real and then when the time is right, then you can move forward, and it's really going to be supportive, and you will have a lot of the work already pre-done. This energy on the 23rd, Mercury will move into the same energy as the North Node. And this is in the sign of Aries. And I think it's only for a very short time, like it's maybe a couple days or something like that. But you may find on the 23rd, for some people, it may really give you a lot of extra intuitive ability, and you might all of a sudden feel like, that's the answer. That's what I want, something you've been mulling over in the back of your mind. So this energy is really supportive of getting ready for moving into new change. And so instead of sitting there and letting your mind keep you in a loop where you're just like going over and over the same old shift, instead you quiet your mind like that, and then you plug into your feelings and you feel, okay, what do I really want? What does my inner self want? And we have this energy of the Knight of Swords coming in. So the Knight of Swords is the knights in the tarot represent communication. In the old days, they would be the only long distance communication the kings and the queens and the rest of the court had. So they would generally travel, far and wide to deliver messages, and then they would wait for the message to be, the answer to come, and then they would bring it back and travel all the way back again. These days, of course, the communication that we have instant communication. So this could represent communication coming in many forms. It could be a letter in the mail. It could be a phone call, a text message, perhaps an email. There could be, you might go on social media and someone messages you, or you might go to an event that you see on social media and you bump into someone that has exactly the information that you wanted to find. It's that kind of energy. Also the news, whatever's happening at the top in the news is generally affecting everybody below. The news can be a lot to watch, but it's good to just kind of get an idea what's going on in the world and look at it maybe from a couple different sources, because sometimes the news is not that accurate. The energy here is each of the knights has their own element that they are focused on. So this represents an energy of some information coming in, but you can see that the information is not necessarily 100%, it's not maybe 100% accurate, or the person doesn't have the full story, because we can only see half the sword and we can't see the point. So we don't really know if, maybe this is as much information as the person can find. Sometimes this can represent hiring a private detective or an investigation going on, that kind of energy. So it's just kind of, okay, here's some more information that came in. But generally this card gives the feeling of this energy running from something or to something. And on February 17th, on the day we had that eclipse, and we were also in the Aquarius new moon, we also entered the first day of the Chinese New Year. And so the Chinese New Year, we entered the year of the fiery horse energy. Now this is an example of exactly the energy you don't want to be in right now for the fiery horse energy, because he's got this red flag on the back of his helmet here, and he's in a hurry. This is kind of sometimes the energy of fools rushing in. His horse is totally stressed out, and he's running against the wind through barren land. The fire horse energy is about being really inspired and free-spirited, and it's an energy of setting high achievement goals. In matters of love, it's really passionate, and it's a lot of heart, like horses have. The danger of this fiery horse energy is being impulsive and letting your temper get a hold of you, and tweeting all over the place and then regretting it the next day, or taking some information and running with it and then finding out it was AI generated. Like these days we have that extra hurdle to go over. There's a lot. I mean, there's always been inaccurate information out there, but there also is AI generated information that can seem very real, and it isn't. So also this represents an energy of setting your goals so high and not giving yourself a reasonable amount of time to achieve them, so that you burn yourself out trying to get there and then you don't make it past the finish line. So that's the kind of energy that we're kind of in at this time. A lot of new energy coming in, a lot of planets moving into the sign of Aries. And Aries is about new, and doing things in a new way, talking about things in a new way, having an open mind, that kind of energy. It is a little bit refreshing, and at the same time, it's a bit challenging because, for instance, Neptune moved into the sign of Aries, and Neptune was in Pisces for 14 years. So everybody got used to, this is about your idealism, and everybody got used to, okay, this is how I approach life. And, you know, it's, then Pisces energy is a little bit, that's the senior executive of the horoscope. Like it's and it's a water sign, and we now Neptune is going to be, for the next 14 years, it's going to be in the sign of Aries. And Aries is like a newborn infant, fiery, and having to learn everything. Like, you know, look how much a baby learns in the first year. So astrologically, the energy supports all signs to embrace the new, and, you know, let go of what's no longer serving you, and recognize that you're going to have to adapt and change. And we're seeing that all over, you know, in the world right now. There's so many major shifts going on with us, and we had the files coming out with you know, 3 million different documents to shock us. And we have the energy, you know, now we have the war in Iran. There's a lot of shift happening on the planet right now. We have just everywhere that you look, the news is coming in, and it's, oh my gosh, what's going to happen today? So it's talking about, this is a time of a lot of adaptation. And if you fight the change, it's going to be really challenging for you. This is talking about your identity and your self-image right here. This is really good. This is saying that, hey, you feel like you're in the Empress energy, that you're a powerful manifester, and that you have a really good handle on how you want to control that abundance and what you want to focus on. This is also talking about your self-worth right now. You realize that right now you can feel all this energy coming in, and it's a really good idea to do this. Go inward and really, what do you want? Because the energy is similar for all the signs. I mean, they're the same astrological effects coming in, but how are you going to handle it? So your internal forces are like the what ifs. What if I do this and they do that, or they do this and I, you know, what if? And so the what ifs can keep you in a thinking loop, and you can't stop thinking. Whereas going inward and putting your mind to rest for a little while and just feeling, and feeling with your heart, what are my authentic desires, can take you a long way to moving through this new energy. And then we have communication from early life. So I don't know if you knew from the very beginning that you're a star, but you're a star. So this is talking about, you have your own special qualities, and as each and every one of us do, our own special brilliance that we bring down to the planet in whatever way, shape, or form that is. And this is about, you know, a lot of people say, well, what's my purpose? The purpose is really to be the best version of you that you can be, so that you can make the world a more beautiful place. And we have the home and family, emotional, like from your emotional foundation. And I feel like this is really saying a lot, like that you have a lot of passion for life, and have maybe come from a family that thinks optimistically, like, you know, like not focusing on the negative. Let's focus on what's going in our favor. So a lot of this energy now is not like, it's not about fixing things that aren't working and trying to fix the same old thing over and over again and do it in the same way. This is about having more of an experimental energy, like observing, hey, when I did it this way, it didn't work out at all, and I wasn't happy with the results. So I'm not going to do that again, but I'm going to do it this way the next time. And then that works out, and you're like, wow, that was awesome. I'm going to do more of that now. Even though it's different from what I used to do, if it's working for me now, then I'm going to move into that energy instead, because it's more about the result than about trying to do things in the same old way. And then we have creativity, romance, etc. And this Pisces moon is like, it's an energy of really being creative. So if you have time to, if you have great ideas, write them down so you don't forget them. Sometimes you think, well, I won't forget that, but you'd be surprised. So, do a bit of journaling if you don't have time to actually implement any of what's coming up, but you may be down the road, you'll be really happy you wrote it down. It's amazing how when you write it down also, it tends to make you look at it as more of a solid action, and you're more likely to take action on it. And this is about your daily routine and your habits and that. So you might be really busy and feeling like, oh, I'm just rushing around and I don't even know half the time if what I'm doing is the right thing, and that kind of energy. This is basically saying it's okay to slow down a little bit. Sometimes we just, we don't even realize it, but we're busy being busy. And sometimes it's almost like a soothing effect when we're busy, because then we feel like, oh, we're doing something. And it's better than doing nothing. But sometimes it's just better to do nothing. That's basically that. And so we're going to talk about the external forces now. So the external forces are what you don't really have that much control over. And what we have here is a situation where someone's in regret or remorse. This card's been coming up a lot. It's because of this new energy coming in. So we have 3 cups that are spilt. This is, if you've ever heard the saying, don't cry over spilt milk. It's because once it's spilled, how are you going to recover it? You're not going to suck it out of the ground. This actually is wine though. So there's 2 cups of wine, and then there's a cup of something else. And so what is that something else? It's that kind of energy. And this person could stand here for the rest of their life. And, some people do stand in regret and remorse. Quite often the cups represent love. And quite often it's romantic love, but it also can be love for anyone in your life. And it can also be something you love to do or something you love to be. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic love. This is talking about, this person could stand here and be like in remorse and regret for the rest of their life. Or turn around and pick up the 2 cups that are still standing and just be like, oh, thank God, I still have 2 cups standing. I have something to work with. Appreciate that and go down the path, cross over the bridge over troubled water so that you can get to your castle. And your castle here is like, it is looking like it's half standing and half dilapidated. So this is an energy of, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Which attitude are you going to adopt? Attitude can take you a long way. So we don't have control over the external forces. We do have a little bit of control, maybe in some instances, but we can't control what other people say or what they do, or that kind of energy. And we can't, be responsible for what's happening in the whole world. I mean, there's a lot of factors out there that we don't personally have control over. But we can control how we respond to it, or are we going to react to it? So this is talking about things might be not in your control, but you can decide how you're going to handle it yourself. And then we have justice coming in. So this justice is talking about justice coming in from this veil behind the character here represents the veil, the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical world. Also between your intuition and your logic, and how you put those 2 together. And this is talking about justice comes down from the spiritual realm into the physical. And this figure has her sword, and the justice is a double-edged sword, just as the swords are for our thoughts, logic and intuition combined. So this energy is talking about, she's got her right foot forward. So this is saying that justice is ready to come down. It's all, maybe some judgment has already been called on the spiritual realm. And now this justice is coming down into the 3D. This can also represent redemption from karma. And so a lot of people feel like karma is actually a punishment, but karma is more like cause and effect from your actions or from your lack of action. It eventually catches up with us. You could have direct karma. which is what you directly do, and if you're the cause. Or it could be indirect. It could be unfinished business from your ancestors or even your descendants, and as well as any associates that you have, who you choose to work with, etc. And then it can also just be karmic spaces, which human beings are likely to fall into, that we all have, the ability to end up in. And it's just understanding that to bring that, so we can be the best version of ourselves. This is actually in the position of your commitments, your partnerships, and marriage. So there's this energy here is probably talking about this energy of some sort of injustice that happened in your maybe in your romantic life, or your if you have a spouse or whatever, something may have happened. And quite often this represents the energy of a third party involvement. So we'll keep looking here to see what's going on here. Yeah, here we have disappointment in love. These cards are coming in a lot lately, like this energy in this last set of cards with this new moon coming in. And I feel that's because of what's happening on the earth right now. I think when you have a big war going on, it makes people think, am I doing what I really want to do? And then we have all these planets that have moved into Aries, which is all about new energy. And so it has that pull on us. Like a lot of people are feeling that, and plus we have the equinox coming up on the 20th, 21st. And that energy is, when the days and the nights become more equal. And, it's spring and people are starting to feel that. So this energy is talking about being disappointed in matters of love. Now, this could be, as I said, romantic love, or it could be about something you love to be or do, or just someone in your family, or, that kind of energy, a friend or something like that. But I feel here in this case, because this is the marriage and commitment and relation and that energy, and there's 3 cups here, and now we have 3 cups here. So in a romantic, in romantic and any other, but basing this could be like having 3 romantic relationships, and they've all been disappointing for you, and they were significant relationships that you put energy into, and they just didn't work out. And now the universe is saying, hey, why don't you go for another cup of love? And you're like, no, thank you. If it's the same old shift, I'm not interested. I'm done with love. But this person looks pretty young, and you don't want to be just done with love. Love is, you deserve to have love in your life. So this is talking sometimes also about giving someone 3 chances. And this could be, in your romantic life, or it could be maybe in your business, a partner, something like that. And this energy is, you've given them 3 chances and they failed you every time. And now they're coming in and they're asking for another chance. And you're like, no way, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm not dealing with this anymore. And which is probably quite wise, because people generally show you who they are the first time. And the energy also could be this third party energy. And so it could be like there's, instead of 2 cups here, there's 3. And that's why this person is so sad. And sometimes it can even represent that there may be a baby on the way, like the ultimate gift from the universe, and that there might be a pregnancy outside of the couple. That energy sometimes is coming in quite a bit, like these days as well, with all the new Aries energy coming in. Aries represents basically the infant of the zodiac. So it's the first sign in. Now that's in the sign of your transition. So there's some sort of transition coming. So when you make the decision that you deserve, it would be really unjust if something like if your partner had disappointed you in this way, and then for the rest of your life you just decide, I'm never having love again. I mean, that wouldn't be very fair for you. So this is talking about having this new passion energy kick in, I feel. And like this is like the Sagittarius energy. But it's very similar to that fire horse energy. The passion to move forward, the big heart, reining in your emotions, not being impulsive. This plume on the back of his head represents the energy of, yes, he knows he has a hot temper, but he's learned to rein it in so that he doesn't do impulsive shift that he regrets later, and that he doesn't let his temper get the best of him. So when you compare the energy, you know, this is what we're talking about. Like, look at the difference. Look at the horse, you know, this is so much calmer. So, and this is talking about wanting to discover new ways of doing things that are going to be really productive, and being calm about it, and just being passionate. You can be passionate about what's going on and really still feel like that, you know, a lot of energy behind it, but you don't have to be, you know, angry and upset and rushing around kind of energy. So this is in your higher learning. So this Knight of Wands, he's a rebel with a cause, and he's learned probably the hard way many times that it doesn't pay to be impulsive, and it doesn't pay to, you know, let your temper get the best of you, because rarely are you going to get what you, the result that you want if you're in that energy. And so this is the energy of your higher learning how to control that. It's, you know, it's something we all have to learn. And then this is talking about the Six of Pentacles is talking about an energy. Sometimes this can represent that you've been breadcrumbed, and you should have been, you know, have more than you do now. Like, you notice here, this is like the Six Pentacles that she has, but he's giving some of that away. So this is talking about maybe you should have had more than this to give. So, because this is talking Six Pentacles is not a small amount of money, but I just feel like sometimes this card represents you could have made more somehow, you didn't. But it also is representing having enough to definitely give to others, which is very generous. And so this is talking about giving and taking, and how much are you going to invest of your time, your money and energy in other people, and what do you expect in return? Because this person, he's giving them some coins to, but this person, he's not. And he has the scales of justice over this person's head. And this is representing, I'm not giving you any of my money because you already have something in your pocket. You know, you need to go use what you have and get to work. So it's that kind of energy, learning the give and take in life, and how much to give, how much to take. What are you, what do you anticipate that you're going to receive in return for your time, money, and energy that you invest? And then we have the Magician. So the Magician is talking about bringing as above, so below. So the Magician is bringing your thoughts and actually turning them into matter. If you think about it, like everything that you have really in the physical world, like if you're sitting in a chair right now, at one point that chair was just a thought in someone's mind, and then they drew it up and, you know, decided, okay, I'm going to manufacture that chair, and then I'm going to sell it, and that kind of energy. And so this is about bringing your thoughts into matter, down to the physical earth, and you can create a beautiful garden to add more beauty to the world. This is the tools that are at your disposal on your bench. And this is the infinity symbol here is talking about the infinite potential that you have in doing that. So the power of infinity to the power of infinity and beyond. And this Magician has an Ouroboros around his waist, and the Ouroboros is a snake that's biting its tail. So it's talking about not getting into a loop. And, you know, we did move actually from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse energy on the 17th. So it's quite a different change. And it's basically saying shed what no longer belongs, you know, what no longer is suiting you anymore, because we're moving into some major new energy. Again, the new. And we have the walking away. This card has come up so many times, and it almost like it's in most of the readings. And so this is talking, a lot of people are feeling this energy right now because of the eclipses, and because of Neptune and Saturn moving in together into the sign of Aries. Venus moved into Aries on March 6th as well, and Venus is about love. So it's affecting a lot of people, how they feel about their love life and their, you know, like, and making decisions. So this is talking about having put a lot of energy into something that you love to do, or something you love to be, or it can be talking about your romantic love. And again, I feel like it has a lot to do with this energy here, because we have the 3 cups here, we have the 3 cups here. And then you notice, like, it's like this could represent 8 years of energy. This is a lot. Like, there's only 10 cups in the tarot. So this is like maybe 8 years of putting, or 5 years, and it was going great. But then all of a sudden we have 2 cups over here and a gap and a third one. So, and we have the eclipse energy. This is like the full moon and the new moon energy. And so I feel like this is saying that that you have come to some sort of decision to walk away. And sometimes that's when we're walking away from someone or something we love to do or be, is because we're just done. We're not willing to give it another chance. We're not willing to entertain it. It's like, no, I need to move on and look after my own, myself. I need to, I can't just keep being disappointed like this. How many chances can you give someone? Generally people do show you who they are at the first time around. So this energy is, Pisces, it's like really strong energy for moving forward, as long as you accept the change and move into that. And, you can be enthusiastic about that change coming through instead of being afraid of it. And if this is enough information for you and you're leaving the reading here, please do give it a like and comment. It does empower me to build my channel. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing. You're more than welcome. Okay, so we also now are going to clarify with my Oracle Tales from the Vector, and that's TAILS. This is something I started back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed it. All the paintings, there were 64, and now I'm bringing it out, but I'm wanting to work with it, and so for the book, the information that goes with it, and I want to play with it. Like, you may have noticed that what's on paper doesn't, I have a lot of information on paper, and in the paintings, but I want to play with the cards and with more and more people. And this is the perfect opportunity to do so before bringing the actual oracle out. So this is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. There's numbers on these cards, and those numbers represent the paintings in the order that they are in my gallery on my website. The information is in the description box below. So I'll put them in the order they appear here. If you want to look them up, you can. We have the transition coming in. This card has come in. It's been almost, I'd say, out of 12 readings, about 8 times this card comes in first. This is the one that has always been, this is talking transition. Basically, that's the theme of the reading, of almost all of the readings, is that there's a lot of transition happening right now. And so it's about making the most of it and going with the flow instead of fighting it. And then we have perception. So yeah, this energy could be the perception, you might be upset about something that happened here. And that's because basically it looks like it has something to do with your personal life here, in your romantic life possibly, or something that you really used to love to do and now you just don't feel the same way. And this energy is often explained by the grass is greener on the other side, and then you find out it's fake, or your partner goes off with someone else, and because they think, oh, the grass is greener with them, and eventually they're like, oh, and they come back in during retrograde and want another chance, and you're like, no way. It's that kind of energy. We have the superstar energy, which we have here. So this is talking, this is 2026 energy. I feel like moving into this energy, really strong, having harmony in your life, being able to speak, with words that create harmony for you, not being impulsive, being more controlled in that energy will go a long way for all of us. We have the Gemini energy coming in. So Gemini represents kind of a kindergarten energy. It's the 3rd card. And so this is about the learning of, when we first leave our homes, basically, and we get into learning from other sources outside of our homes and from our own families and, our extended families. And so this is Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So I feel like this is the energy of as we navigate through a lot of change, it's an energy of, okay, how am I going to move through this? And getting your mind to quiet down so that you can intuitively feel for it and then plug into your heart with your mind. And so using your logic as well as your intuition to be able to move forward in the strongest way possible. When the horoscope signs come in, I'm not talking about an individual person. I'm talking about the energy of the state of being of each of these signs. We all have a little bit of each of these signs in us, and we can learn from them. And that's what I would like us to do. The sign, it could be that in your own individual situation, that these are accurate for you. Just use your intuition on that. But it's just not my intention that I'm saying, oh, Leo did it, or that's not my intention at all. So the Leo energy is more like, if you think about teenage boys and how impulsive they can be. And so this is about following your star, but being, it's basically talking, it takes a lot of maturity to be a strong leader. And so that's something, don't be upset if sometimes you make mistakes. People who don't make mistakes aren't pushing their limits. And so if you want to be a good leader, you're going to have to really get in there, and take the odd chance, and calculated risks are good risks to take. Attachment is a karmic space. And so, yeah, if we become really attached to someone or something, or we become attached to the way things are supposed to be, we could be very sadly disappointed in how our lives are going, especially these days, because there's a lot of new energy coming in. And we also, the need to be right is another karmic space. So sometimes we just don't want to admit that we were wrong. And so the need to be right overrules the need to be, the desire to be happy. So would you rather be right, or would you rather be happy? Sometimes, we can make mountains out of molehills, because we are saying, no, it's like 100% this way, the way, I see it. So there's never just one way of seeing anything. And then disruption, this is a tactic. So what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. So this is this energy of, if your partner is straying on you and you're behind your back and you're not aware of it, and then you find out that's not much fun for you, he might be having fun, or she might be having fun, and the person they're with might be having fun, but you're not. So that's pretty clear. And then we have intention. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So you can have all the good intentions you want, but your actions do speak louder than words. And how you carry yourself is, you could really have good intentions, but you may have noticed how you intend for things to happen isn't always the way that it turns out, especially not exactly the way you think. We have the Sagittarius energy coming in. So this is about wanting the adventure. And this is the transition. Like this is this energy of transition coming in here now, of this new, having the world in your hands here, being successful where you are, but feeling like you want more adventure. You want to travel, maybe. You want to expand your horizons. You want to increase your learning, that kind of energy. This is the scotoma. There's a good reason why the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror. Sometimes we just can't see something until we can see it, or it's pointed out to us. And this energy represents, there could have been a blind spot in your relationship, or in in some area of your life that you just couldn't see, and others could see it, but you couldn't. And sometimes when we have a partner that's been cheating, a lot of other people know what's been happening, but we don't. I forgot to put the card here on for the energy of the external forces from the bottom here. So this is dissension, is about with friends like this, who needs enemies. So it could say that, it may not just be the fact that your partner was having an affair or something, but it could have been with someone that you knew and trusted, or that the people around you knew about it and they didn't tell you. And so quite often when this energy happens, it's already devastating enough to know that your partner would do that, but then you find out other people knew, and that were in your inner circle that perhaps you trusted, and now you feel like you can't trust anyone, kind of energy. And so that can add to the trauma. And then we have Pisces energy, and this is what the moon is in. And so this is, remember, to use your intuition, use your imagination and your creativity. It's really strong right now. Write it down if you have time to, because you might regret it later. I've had that happen many a time. I find when I journal and I write things down, when I go back to it, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. And then I'm ready to put that into being. And as I said before, sometimes when you write it down, you'd be surprised how much more likely you are to actually entertain doing it. We do have the Scorpio energy also. So this is talking about elevating your position and the position of others. It's also talking about the sacral energy, manifesting from that, and about this energy here of, the Scorpio energy is the sexual gladiator of the universe, basically, of the horoscopes. So this energy is very centered on that drive of manifesting from that creative energy. And so this is right on the magician energy. This is your blessings coming in. And we have the foolhardy. So this is saying you can anticipate a strong journey moving ahead here, Pisces. It's the foolhardy means that you're on your path. You're plugged into your heart. You're on, the divine path that you were destined to be on, and that you can anticipate a strong future. So really, this is a really good reading. None of the readings have been just simple and all, flowers and sunshine. But that's, we're not in that kind of energy on this planet right now. We're going through some major issues or having to face some major issues that maybe we haven't been, we've been wanting to have a scotoma over. And a lot of this energy now is being like pushed in our faces, and we have to face it now. So the whole planet is going through this type of energy. So a lot of people are feeling the same thing that you are. They're maybe experiencing it in a slightly different way. You're not alone. And I feel like you have a really strong reading here. This energy has got a lot of potential for you. I do hope you've enjoyed it. Please do give it a like and comment if you have, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. It would be my honor if you did so. I'll be back with another reading for you, and that one will be about the end of the month. Bye for now.